Good morning, everyone. It's Jane from Surface Anthology and Chalk Mercantile. Happy Friday. It's almost the weekend. Yay! I'm waiting for my link for my text group people, and I don't have that number in front of me, but there's my link. We're going to be making a wooden tag or zhuzhing up a wooden tag today with a paint inlay. Since I worked with an inlay before, I thought I would stick with that this week. All right, and there that goes. And let me close that. So I'm going to be using a wooden tag today. I found this is from one of my kits, and I have a bunch of it, so I'll be listing it in my Christmas shop at Chalk Mercantile. But it's sari ribbon from Indian saris, those beautiful dresses, right? So we're going to use that. So I tried to coordinate this a little. But before we do that, let's mourn together something that I just got the notice of. And I have to share with you, I'm like so upset. Danielle, hey girl. Good morning. Thanks for joining me. Yay. Martha Stewart magazine is not going to be published anymore. I was completely shocked. I thought it was a joke, and I'm like, it's not April 1st. And they're going to be, they just did it in such a, I don't know, like no big news story, nothing. Just this little card in the mail saying you'll soon be receiving Real Simple magazine instead of Martha Stewart Living, which is no longer being published. I'm devastated. I've had this magazine since, I've been getting it since the beginning. Sandy, good morning. Hey, Barb, good morning. Mary, good morning. Morning, everybody. And I know it's early where some of you are, right? Yeah, so I'm completely bummed. And I will tell you why. You know, in a world of, and this is all personal opinion, right? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But when I kind of am looking for inspiration, and I'm somebody who, when I do something, I want it to last a really long time, right? I'm not a trendy person. I know people who every 3 years they do a new kitchen. I mean, that's crazy. Plus, it's really expensive. Plus, it ends up in the landfill. It's just a big mess. So I love Martha for that. And she's so classic. And I love that she focuses on American makers. I'm really into that. And I just look forward to getting this magazine every single month. That's why I love the mail too. This Martha Stewart magazine and Milieu are my favorites. And Country Living is right behind that. But I just wanted to show you guys, just for some inspiration, and also to show you how classic design is never dated, right? Never dated. You could look at Martha Stewart books. This is Great Wreaths of America. And she does a wreath for every flower from and nut and different things from different states. Like Georgia is pecans or pecans, as some people say, right? But this magazine, oh, look at that. Somebody gave this to me as a gift. Oh, they knew me well. 1996, right? And look at these. Look at these. Now, here's, I love my gold. Look at this, right? The gold leaf, oak leaves, and acorns. Gorgeous, right? And it's not boring design. Look at this. Gorgeous. And you guys, look at the paint finish. Martha Stewart has had crusty, authentic milk paint, farmhouse, way before it became like Chip and Joanna's thing or anybody else. This is beautiful. And it's inspired me for my whole life. Look at the Texas rose wreath and look at the yellow wall. And there's that chippy doorknob. This is an old door. And I just love it. Look at the cotton. You remember how the cotton bowls were really popular? I don't know if they still are. Are they still? Hey, Carla. Hey, Renee. Good morning. We're mourning the death of Martha Stewart Living Magazine. But look at that. I mean, that could be right, today. Look at this. Stunning. Stunning. And when I'm working on projects for my membership, look at this. I mean, could you die how beautiful this is? Very understated, very elegant. That one is for North Dakota, and it's oats and barley. And look at this bench. That is a painted bench. That's an authentic, original paint on this bench. It's beautiful. Shannon. Shannon is saying, good morning. Your text was my alarm clock this morning. Oh, I really was up last night, and I was thinking about this when I got it because I was just heartbroken. Oh my God. But I keep these old books. I use them all the time. Look at this mirror, right? Look at that texture and gold leaf, copper leaf, beautiful. And I just have to show you my favorite. I love this wreath made with just wire oak leaves and acorns. I mean, how gorgeous is that, right? So anyway, this is what I use. And this doesn't mean you can't throw in some trendy stuff, some trendy colors. I know I got somebody out in Oregon. Look at those apples. They're beautiful. Aren't these books wonderful, Shannon? They really are. I just love them. So, yeah, it's really happened, and I'm just completely bummed. I just wanted to show you, this is a really old one, Martha Stewart's Christmas. And I think it's 1983. But look, now this is a 3-tier tray, okay? This is how you do it, as far as I'm concerned. She just got these old pedestals, right? Glass, which you can now get. Some of these, I have some from the 1800s. 1, 2, 3. And she's got candied or sugared fruit. I mean, how beautiful is that? So I just love it. And Martha knows, this isn't stuff that Martha invented or created. She draws on really classic design. This is a really old one. Look at this buttery yellow painted table, right? That is the paint finish that I go for. And I just love how it goes with, all these subtle colors. It's just really, really nice. Look at the ribbons, you guys. Remember I showed you my collection. Painting, decoupage, look at the inside. You could probably pick these up. Look at these eggs for Easter. Oh my goodness. You could probably get these for just a couple of bucks. Sometimes I'll see them at Goodwill, when I'm out at tag sales and stuff. But it's all classic design, so if you're looking for something that, for some inspiration, you should go to that. But yeah, the magazine is over, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. It's just a sad day. Let's get on to our fun craft. Hey, Vanessa, how are you today? It's like, I thought it was going to be sunny and hot, and it is gloomy today. Maybe it's just over my house because nature knows I'm mourning. And look at my crazy hair. It's so humid, you guys. Oh, wow. So I'm going to paint, and I don't know if I've done this on a dark gray yet, but I'm going to paint. This is just a wood tag, right? And it's big. And I have a bunch of these from kits. So I'm going to put these up on the Christmas shop too. I haven't done that yet. This week I haven't been live a lot because I've been doing inventories, trying to find out where I'm at and get ready for the fall. But I'm going to paint this wooden tag, and I love these because these can be ornaments. These could be on gifts and, you know, included with your gift to somebody as an additional gift, you know, an ornament. So I'm going to grab my brush. And I was going to pour out my paint, but I've got so little left, I'm just going to use it here. Oh, Vanessa's doing great. You're absolutely welcome. Is everybody looking forward to the weekend? Are you guys working on any projects? Are you painting anything? Of course, I didn't mix this. Make sure you mix your paint. And I'm going every which way because the inlay is going to be on here. And there is a lot of texture that's associated with these inlays sometimes, depending on how much paint you put down. All right. Just like this. And it would have been better if I used my 1-inch brush. You could see me doing lots of little strokes. Now, I'm not going to do both sides now, but you should paint, and I will paint it after. You should paint, you know, both sides of your tags if you want, or you could even stain the back side. And actually, if I were going to stain, I would stain the entire tag first. All right, let's dry this. And look at how dark, right? How dark the spray is getting. I think this will look kind of moody with the Grisay or the Grisal Toile tag. All right, Vanessa, hang on one sec. Now, Vanessa's asking, is it better to lay the inlays in clay paint or acrylic? What is the best result? Vanessa, I have used clay-based paint, milk paint, Amy Howard One Step, which is chalk paint with a built-in top coat, and this is vintage. This is Authentico. It's just pure chalk paint. I haven't used acrylic paint, to be honest with you. I know that there are people who have. I know that there are people who have used, like they'll do a faded color, right? Different colors, and let it dry. And then they'll use an acrylic, polyacrylic, like medium, right? Like a matte varnish or something like that, and lay the inlay into that so that the inlay is on top of a blended kind of color scheme. You know what I mean? So I'm going to grab my 1-inch brush here. So I haven't. Has anybody here done that? And maybe can give Vanessa some insight. I don't use a lot of that type of paint, Vanessa. So I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. Now this is going to be the layer I put my inlay in. In fact, I'll very quickly take out my page here. There we go. So I save all my scraps and everything. And I'm so devastated about Martha. I'm doing this all backwards. Well, for this, we'll just use, wait a minute. so many scraps, you guys. Because I really love the inlays for small projects. Oh, well, I'm just going to pick something there. Okay, onward. Hey, Joni, good morning. Everybody, Joni from Weathered Wings is on. Joni, have you used the inlays with acrylic paint? And Danielle has not. What's acrylic paint? Is like Fusion acrylic paint? Because I know there are people using the inlays with that. All right, here we go. Joni, I'm so upset about Martha Stewart magazine. I could barely think today. I'm going to show you guys a little hint that Joni showed in one of her lives. She sprayed the inlay, right? Now remember, grid side up, painted side down. I don't know if I could fit this whole squirrel on here. Oh, I'm gonna get these flowers. All right, so I'm just gonna give this a little mist, right? This is what Joni showed. I know, Joni, isn't this, it's horrible. Oh, Martha. The only problem, I'm turning my tag upside down because my design is going to be all up at the top where the ribbon is if I don't. So I'm just pressing this down. I didn't cut it out this time, you guys. So I'm pressing it down like this into the paint, going from the inside out with my fingers, right? Then I take my brayer, not my burnisher, and I'm just gonna kind of push it down into the paint, just like this. And then I just do one more little mess. Make sure you don't have any of your inlays around. And then I press it down with a cloth. Shannon is saying, I've tried milk paint, clay paint, and paint with the top, built-in top coat, Fusion. Now, I think Fusion is a latex acrylic, but they work great in all. That is fantastic. Okay, I'm just pressing, you guys, after I gave it a little mess, pressing this down. And as Shannon is saying, they work great in all, just different dry times with Fusion and different effects. So you're going to get a different look depending on the type of paint you use. So what I would tell you to do is to cut out a little tiny section of your inlay, right? Put down whatever paint you're going to use and do a test. And I would follow the directions to the letter and see how it turns out. Like, don't try to push it like I'm going to do right now. Don't try to shorten that amount of time because you want to really go by the book until you know how your style of paint works. All right, you guys, I'm going to dry this now with my blow dryer. I already really like this inlay on top of the dark gray. It looks really pretty. And I just put my hand down. You'll see it start to get more cloudy as it dries, more white or lighten up. Oh, Renee, thank you. Renee's scattering. Thank you so much, Renee. I appreciate that. Renee remembered, and I forgot to, I have my little mastermind group, right? And Joni is one of those people, and they're like, Jane, you've got to ask your watchers, your followers to scatter, right? To sprinkle your videos around. So thank you, Renee. because I gotta get more followers. I'm almost at 1,000 on YouTube. I'm really excited about it. And I'm working up on Surface Anthology too. Thanks you guys for all of that. All right, so it's not quite dry yet. So I'm gonna do another pass with a blow dryer, but I'm gonna really push this and probably take it off while it's still a little damp. Oh, Brenda. Brenda's saying happy Frisky Friday. Absolutely, Brenda. It is Frisky Friday, even though I'm mourning Martha Stewart living, no longer being published. And then Shannon is saying, in my opinion, clay or, okay, this is important. My opinion, clay or chalk-based is the easiest to get the crisp image if following directions to the T. And you know what, Shannon, that's exactly what I have found. To get that really flawless inlay image, right, with those crisp lines, I use vintage paint, which is chalk paint, or clay, mud paint, clay paint. And I know Joni uses DIY paint, and she gets some really nice, finally, right, Joni, you had to do some troubleshooting, but you get some really beautiful inlay results from that. Oh, Danielle, thank you. You're so sweet. All right. Hit this one more time and see what we got. Okay. Now, I'm going to let it cool, and it's really, really hot now. I wanted to also tell you guys, I know, Danielle, when I'm watching somebody make something, I'm just totally into watching them make something or listening or laughing or whatever. And I forget too. I totally forget. If you guys are following my Surface Anthology page or you're members of the Painted Cottage, if you're not, join, absolutely. It's our free group. Joni of Weathered Wings, Kim of For the Nest, Tammy of Flippin' Furniture. It's our kind of collective group, and it's fun. You could go in there and show off what you're working on. But you will see that I am going to be making a new workshop. I'm in the throes of that now, and I'm really excited about it, where we're going to be taking a piece of plywood, right, and making it into a very fancy French-inspired chalkboard. So I'm excited about that. It's $18. If anybody's interested, let me know in the comments. I'll send you a link, or you could just put it in the comments in the Painted Cottage group or my Surface Anthology page. And what it's going, I'm going to do it live, you guys. I'm going to do it live. So I think I'm going to do it over 3 days, right? Because I tend to, I don't know, layer things on. And I'm going to really try to keep it to 3 live workshops, right? So you'll be in a private Facebook group. And by the way, if you're a Surface Anthology member, this is part of your membership. So you're not going to need to purchase that workshop. But I'm gonna do it over 3 days. I think if we have to go to 4, I'll absolutely do that. I'll have a private Facebook group where the workshop will be held. Of course, there will be replays, so if you miss the live, you can do that. And before, I think it's gonna be 2 or 3 weeks, and I will let you all know when the date is, and I will send out a list of what I'm using to make this. And I'm trying to keep it simple, you know, not as many lessons as the Antique Finish workshop, but just as cool. So I'm excited about that. Oh, Barb, that's great. Barb's going to be getting on her Christmas decorating, right? Getting all her stuff started. It's already August, you guys. I can't even believe it. Good morning, Candace. Thanks for joining us. All right, here we go. Let's see if this worked. First thing you do, and you know I love this misting bottle. I don't know, I was like the last one to get it. But you just, I'm going to move my book of inlays so I don't wet those. You mist or wet your inlay. And this needs to sit for about 30 seconds, right? And I kind of massage it in. Oh, Danielle, that's so sweet. Danielle and Sandy, who are watching, are both new members of the Surface Anthology membership. And by the way, you guys, at the end of this workshop, right, the French-inspired chalkboard, I haven't thought of a clever name for it yet. I'm going to close new members, close the membership until probably like the winter, so I can focus on our workshops within the membership and everything like that. So if you're thinking about joining, you've got a few more weeks. All right, I'm just pressing this down, and let's see. Oh, look at that. Let me get it close. It's just, there's something very, very satisfying about this. So I'm pulling it like at a 45-degree angle. Now look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And I was just thinking, because I know I have somebody in the membership who's doing shows, right? And painting furniture. If you were just to have a little basket of tags like this with ribbons, and you sell these for a few bucks, I mean, I would sell them for $5 or $6. And frankly, I would buy these. And if you wanted to make them Christmassy, you could even add some German glass glitter around them, a very sparkly ribbon. But how beautiful would these look in a little basket all lined up, right? You could do bright colors or whatever kind of goes with your brand or your style. Isn't that beautiful? And you know what, Shannon, it is. This is in classic chalk paint with no built-in top coat. And it's very, very crisp and very clean. And I think that's what Shannon was talking about, right? And I'll show you the texture. So how beautiful is that? Now I'm gonna put the ribbon through. I just have to kind of dry out the paint in the little hole for the ribbon so you can see. But I think for anybody doing shows, or if you love to decorate your gifts like really beautifully, I mean, how beautiful. I would even put this on a gift that's wrapped in craft paper and twine and just wrap this around it. It's just beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous? Brenda, you know what? I go back and forth between the grisal or the grisé. The French are probably rolling their eyes if they're watching, right? After being in France and my loud voice, and somebody made fun of something I said, I'm like, I'm never going to attempt that language because I kill it. But anyway, it's between this and chateau. I could say chateau, right? It's just beautiful. I mean, this would be a beautiful wall, it would be absolutely gorgeous. Now, Danielle, thank you. Kathy, absolutely. Joni, isn't it beautiful? And I wish I had, wait, maybe I have some. I'll put it on something white. There, you could really see it. So, now Danielle's asking me, will you seal that with spray on varnish, or wax, or what? So, with this, if you wanted to further zhuzh it up or give it a antique look, you can use clear wax with a colored wax. If you're doing a whole bunch of them for a show, you could just use matte varnish on these. I use the Amy Howard at Home matte sealer, the matte varnish. It would be beautiful. You don't really need to do a lot to these. But you guys, these, no matter what paint you put the inlays in, right? Even if it's fusion, which doesn't need to be sealed, you do need to seal the inlays. So you need to cover it up with something, right? Joni's saying a weathered wings. Yes, I would love it on my bathroom wall. How beautiful would that be? And I've seen people where they take molding, right? They can't, the wall's too big or whatever, or they only have one book of the inlays. There's 8 pages in it. And they'll take molding and create a frame, paint it the same color as the wall, paint the inside and then just put the inlay on the inside of that panel. Or you could just do it on a canvas, right? And I think Danielle, who I'm gonna be sharing some of her work from the membership, Danielle, didn't you do one of the inlays on a canvas, right? The other thing I was thinking about doing, and I might do it in here, I wanna create a pennants or bunting with drop cloth canvas with inlays on it, right? How beautiful would that be? Joni, if anybody's gonna do a wall in a room, it will be Joni. Have you all seen her brick wall in her bedroom? That's how I first discovered Joni. I was watching her make a brick wall, right, on her bedroom wall, and I'm like, what is this lady doing? And it's beautiful, you guys. It's absolutely stunning. See? Danielle too. Maybe we should do a challenge. Use an inlay on an interior wall of your home. I think that would be very, very cool. And Danielle, you used a canvas. And I'm going to share that with everybody today over on my page because I love what she did in addition to a technique we learned last month. And you could do that too. If you're afraid to do like a wall, you could put it on a canvas or on a board. All right, I'm gonna take our sorry ribbon and pull that through. And remember, I'm going to, when we go off camera, I'm gonna paint the back of this. If I were doing these for a show, in fact, for anything, I wouldn't put an inlay on both sides. I would just have the inlay on one side. Okay. Now, I can't make bows or anything, so. But look at this, right? You could just take this, tie a little knot. And I wish I had those little white flowers. You could even throw in a couple of like little doodads. But look at how pretty, right? Isn't that beautiful? And you could just put that on a gift and be done. If these all over a Christmas tree would be stunning. If you're a furniture flipper, right? And you're not necessarily gonna, use an inlay on a piece of furniture, grab a bunch of these tags or different shapes. You could get so many out of just one sheet of the inlay and sell these, right? How beautiful is that? In fact, I know you could paint the back, and aren't there stamps where you could put they're pre-made stamps and you could write to and from, or if you have neat handwriting, you can write to and from. How beautiful would that be? So there's a wonderful little idea. See, Danielle has seen the brick wall. It's unbelievable. And she says, wall inlay challenge. Yes, it'll make me get it done. That's what I always say, right? All right, you guys, that's it for today. And also remember, I showed you guys how I use the inlays a second time. You can get some really beautiful faded kind of looks when you use your inlay a second and third time. I've seen people use them a third time. And you'll get just a different faded, more antique-y look if you do that. So don't ever throw out your inlays or your little scraps, all right? Everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Have the most wonderful weekend. If you're wanting to take or are interested in the French-inspired chalkboard, where I'll be taking a piece of plywood and making something really beautiful, it'll be $18. It's going to be a live workshop. Of course, you'll be able to watch the replays. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. It'll be $18, and then I will send you a link. Everybody have the most wonderful, wonderful day today. Shannon, thank you. Brenda, thank you. Everybody, thanks for joining me. See